So Mom and I would do the I love you more, no, I love you more, no, I love you more, no, I love you more. And you can never win, right? So one would go, I love you infinity, and then one would say, I love you to the cosmos. Well, we ended up creating, whoever could say cosmos and infinite ever, you won. You couldn't get any more than that. And the note that she left us when she passed. Those are her final, meet us in the cosmos for infinite ever.
Oh, here comes the ballerina. Little bend for the crowd. As a child of somebody who's has a mental illness or any illness, there's a period in which you can sit back and watch. You can be a spectator, and people will protect you, you know, and it's not your thing to have to deal with or solve. And sometimes, as in our case, it reaches a critical point where this is going to get real bad if you don't do something.
Da, 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 da. Very good, hon.
Kelly is boisterous and she's out and she's full of life.
Here's Patrick, the tooth man.
And it can be seductive to want to take the best parts of somebody and say, oh, that's who they are. But the bipolar was a part of her. So not seeing her and her bipolar was not seeing her.
Mom, she says, who am I? And it came out of the blue, like, you know, and I said, well, you're a mother of good kids, and I said, you're a nurse and everything, but she says, but who am I? And I didn't know what else to say. I don't think I was giving her the right answer. I don't know.
I was supposed to bring the cameras and do interviews and everything else. And, you know, she knew what they were for. We talked about this before, everything else. And half an hour after we got off the phone, she kind of called me back and was like, I'm not really feeling up to it this time, buddy. Like, next time, okay? And, you know, you don't really think anything of that at the time. And then I went and had my visit with her, and that was the last time I saw her. Being a nurse and being somebody who experienced bipolar and somebody who likes to write and journal, like, you have this really strong direct line into her consciousness, unfiltered, you know, and that to me is such a powerful way to be able to tell a story. I started reading them and I was like, okay, well, what if I boil this down and think about it in some kind of loose story structure?
We're going to Byblos. We're going to check out where she was. We're going to find that wall. I got to climb it because she'd stolen these moccasins from me and worn them and brought them back in. So it was a piece of, like, these were here with me dancing on this wall. And so I thought it would be really cool. But of course I forgot the moccasins.
I think Riley and I had always talked about someday we have to go back to the Middle East and we have to go to the places that she went to. Someday we have to take the journals and experience what she experienced. Someday we've got to figure out how we're going to make this a film.
It's pretty cool, because now we can see it and now we're here and I can just picture her just in her element.
It felt like the best damn treasure hunt you could ever go on. Running around with these journals, talking to people, trying to figure things out.
So we've got specific dates and locations. So on the 26th outside of Petra, she's arrested. She spends 3 days in the
She's
Jordanian
new to this
prison.
filmmaking thing.
Wow, this is so cool.
This is a way to hopefully have a powerful conversation about bipolar and the reality of it and how it affects people and what it's like to be inside of that. That is what we so rarely get a chance to do, is to step inside the experience of somebody who is affected by a mental illness and see how they see the world and how it feels.
I'll never forget the look in her eye and the feeling that we had. And now I have my own son who doesn't get to know her. But I want to make sure that he knows her in any way that he can. So when he has trouble sleeping, I make sure that he knows that I'm gonna sing him Grandma's favorite song. And I rub his back just like she would mine. And guaranteed, before I'm done singing that song, that boy is sleeping.
When you are heavily depressed, all of a sudden, everything is a mountain. And as I think so many people want to push away and distance themselves, I think we came out with a much greater respect for how she saw the world, for having a different perspective, for living a different perspective, and for what that could teach us.
Imagine being buried alive in a dark pit. You may come out now and then, but you know, inevitably, you'll go back in. In the blink of an eye, we will meet in the cosmos for infinite ever.
These are called the lovers' trees because they're intertwined, and they believe, they're said, that they will be hugging for eternity, which was quite fitting because I would love to give my mom an eternal hug. She gave me best words. Our mother. Sorry. I don't care if you want to call it crazy. I knew her more than I know myself. You know, she's being chased by police and she's gonna be locked up in a white padded room, so what? We can inject her with medications that might work but probably won't, and maybe someone will talk to her for 10 minutes, but they don't really give a shit. This is therapy. This is what she needed.
She's just plain beautiful. She's my child, and she's just plain beautiful. Yeah.
She was so incredible. And like she was the best mother and nurse and human, and I would not change a thing. I would not change her.
That's what we want, is a space to encourage people to have conversations and to not feel so alone, and to know that through that we can find at least empathy. Hopefully a little bit of understanding, but at least empathy.